The time is now 10 a.m.
I will be calling the December 11th Planning Board meeting to order. We have the following board members with us today: Vice Chair Giraldo.
Good morning.
Commissioner Okoye.
And I am Chairman Barnes. We will now move forward with the business at hand. Please note that the deadline for all participation, pre-registration, and all submission of materials and exhibits was 12 noon on Tuesday before the Planning Board meeting. Please note, as of October 2nd, walk-in speaking sign-ups is no longer permitted. We will now move on with today's agenda. The order of cases for today's meeting are as follows. Item 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The first item on the agenda is item 2, draft minutes of December 4th. We look for a motion.
What's that called?
Been properly moved and second. I will now call the roll. Vice Chair Giraldo.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Okoye.
Vote aye.
I vote aye as well. We have the following. We will move forward to the consent agenda. Consent agenda items 4A and 4B. 4A is draft resolution, case heard on October 20th, 2025. PGCPB number 2025-113-PPS-2024-035 Beach Street. And item 4B, draft resolution, case heard on October 20th, 2025. PGCPB number 2025-DET-2025-006. Junica Brandywine, PGCPB number 2025-111, DET-024-015 Smith Lakes Estates, PGCPB number 2025-112, DSP-23026 Oarsman of Bowie, PGCPB number 2025-114, DSP-24012 National View, and lastly, PGCP-2025-115 DDS-24004 National View. Is there anyone who wishes to oppose the staff recommendation on the consent agenda items? And if not, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, after consideration of the record, items 4A and 4B, I move we approve of the items on the consent agenda in accordance with the recommendations of staff.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
It's been properly moved and second. I will now call the roll. Vice Chair Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Okoye.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye as well. We will now move on to the regular agenda items. The first item on the agenda is item 5 and 6, which is a companion item, detailed site plan and departure from site design standards, DSP-98039-04, Maryland 95 Corporate Park, and DS-25001, Maryland 95 Corporate Park. We will now hear from Mr. Cofield.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the Planning Board. For the record, I am Dexter Cofield with the Urban Design section. Item number 5 is detailed site plan DSP 98039-04, Maryland 95 Corporate Park, redevelopment of Lot 20, which requests the development of a 12,750 square foot daycare for approximately 200 children and site improvements for a future 2,000 square foot eating and drinking establishment with drive-through service. Accompanying this detailed site plan is item number 6, a departure from sign design standards, DS-25001. In a memorandum dated November 24th, the applicant submitted a request to continue the planning board hearing, originally scheduled for December 11th, 2025 to January 8th, 2026. This additional time is to allow for the applicant to address staff's issues with the proposed departure from sign design standards. In order to address these matters, on November 21st, the applicant submitted a memorandum requesting a waiver to the 70-day planning board action limit, extending the action limit to January 8th, 2026. Additional signposting will not be required. Urban Design staff concur with the applicant's request and would recommend that the planning board approve the request for continuance for DSP 98039-04 and DSDS-25001 to January 8th, 2026. This concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the planning board?
Have none.
Seeing none, we will now hear from Mr. Antonetti.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the planning board. For the record, Robert Antonetti with the law firm of Shipley and Horn here on behalf of the applicant. We do concur with the staff's recommendation in this case. In fact, we've already met several times since the request has been made and made fantastic progress in revising the sign package and details for this application. So we look forward to bringing that to you in January should this continuance be approved. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I believe that there is no one in opposition, but there was one that was in favor that wanted to speak. It's Albalesi. Seeing that no one is here, is there a motion for approval?
Mr. Chair, I move approval of a continuance of DSP-98039-04 and DSDS-25001 to January 8th, 2026.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, let me call the roll. Vice Chair Giraldo,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Okoye,
I vote aye.
and I vote aye as well. Thank you so much. We will now move on to the next agenda item, item number 7, detailed site plan DBT-2024-116, Freeway Airport. We will hear from Ms. Sun.
Morning, Mr. Chairman and members of Planning Board. For the record, I'm Meng Sun with Urban Design Section. Item number 7 is detailed site plan DET-2024-016 for Freeway Airport. For detailed site plan, the detailed site plan is for development of 297 single-family detached dwellings and associated infrastructure, excluding architecture and signage. The property is located within the residential single-family attached and aviation policy area overlay zones. The property is located at the southwest quadrant of the intersection of US 50 and Church Road. As a matter of housekeeping, prior to December 9th noon deadline, the applicant submitted 5 exhibits. Applicant Exhibit 1 outlines the revised conditions proposed by the applicant, which are minor and for clarification purposes, and staff are in agreement with. Applicant Exhibit 2 to 5 are the resumes of the applicant's expert representatives. Based on evaluation and analysis, Urban Design staff recommend that the Planning Board adopt the findings of this report and approve detailed site plan DET-2024-016 and Type 2 Tree Conservation Plan TCP2-2025-0070 for Freeway Airport, subject to the recommended conditions of approval within the technical staff report and the revisions proposed by the applicant and agreed upon by staff in the applicant's Exhibit 1. This concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the Planning Board?
I have none.
Seeing none, we will now hear from the applicant's attorney, Mr. Antonetti. Before you start, Mr. Antonetti, legal, if you can swear him in.
All those intending to speak on item 7, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will tell the truth?
Morning, Chairman Barnes, members of the Planning Board. For the record, again, my name is Robert Antonetti with the law firm of Shipley and Horn. Today, virtually, we have my partner, Mr. Arthur Horn, with us. We also have members of the applicant's team from Freeway Realty LLC. We have Mr. Andrew Rowd, Mr. Ken Finley. We have Mr. Michael Lenhart from Lenhart Traffic Consulting, Inc. We have Mr. Gary Ehrlich from Hush Acoustics online with us. And we have Ms. Rachel Leitzinger, representative of Dewberry, the civil engineers for this project. I would like to thank Ms. Sun for her very thorough review and professional job in administering this case and preparing the staff recommendation. It's been fantastic to work with her, and I look forward to working with her on many cases in the future, hopefully. Also, the board has heard and read in the staff report, this application is for the redevelopment of the Freeway Airport. The Freeway Airport is a general aviation airport that's been certainly been active as an airfield since the 1940s. It's been formally organized as an airport since the 1960s. It's currently in operation today. It is a legal non-conforming use. In other words, it's a use that doesn't conform with the zoning that it's in, but is allowed to exist because it pre-existed the zoning category that it operates under currently. As the board is very likely aware, this project has a very long history and a very long entitlement history. It had of particular note, the applicant had previously obtained approval of a preliminary plan of subdivision and a detailed site plan, both in 2020 and 2021, respectively, for a much higher density project. As a result of that and litigation that ensued, partly from that, the applicant and the surrounding citizen group, very active and well-organized citizen group, the concerned citizens of District 4 and surrounding areas, reached a settlement for a new vision, a new direction for the redevelopment of this project. And that resulted in an agreement that the site would not develop with any other residential use other than single-family detached units. It also stated that the maximum density of the project would not exceed 297 single-family detached dwelling units. And those restrictions, or that agreement, was codified or memorialized in a restrictive covenant, which was placed on the property to show the intent and see it through. So those promises were made. Those promises have been kept. Of particular note in terms of entitlements and planning, the 2022 Bowie and Vicinity Master Plan recommended the redevelopment of the site for residential medium and the placement of the property in the RSFA zone in the current zoning ordinance. In 2024, the District Council approved the sectional map amendment for Bowie, Mitchellville, and Vicinity and rezoned the property to the RSFA zone consistent with that master plan. More recently, the planning director approved certificate of adequacy for 297 single-family detached dwelling units on April 1st, 2025. And on April 10th, 2025, this planning board approved a preliminary plan of subdivision for 297 lots for those single-family detached units. Today, we have the detailed site plan, which is required for this project. This detailed site plan, you may be asking yourself, well, what will these homes look like? What's the architecture? What's the sizes? Well, we don't have a building partner yet, although we are in discussions with building partners, and we will bring back a revision to this detailed site plan. We'll show all those details. What this detailed site plan shows are the details including landscaping, lotting pattern, consistent with the preliminary plan that the board approved, street network, recreational facilities, and basically having it ready for it to move forward to the next step, which again will include a future revision to the detailed site plan should this one be approved to include architecture. I will say for private rec facilities, I will point out that this application includes a community trail, a 10-foot wide trail, about 1.25 mile trail around the site. It includes sidewalks on both sides of the street. It includes a dog park. It includes an airplane-themed recreational area, which is quite beautiful in terms of the equipment and play area to invoke the history of the airport. It also includes a passive recreation area with a pergola, landscaping, pathways, and seating. I will state that this application and this development meets all the open space set-aside requirements in the new zoning ordinance. In fact, it exceeds them. 35% of this gross tract area is in open space set-asides. 20% of that is programmed as active open space, which exceeds the minimum requirements. So we're very excited about the design and what has yielded a quite beautiful green envelope around this project with opportunities for active and passive recreation within the project. Woodland conservation is another big plus for this project. The requirement here is exceeded. The requirement is 34 about 34 acres required to be in a form of woodland conservation. We have 44 acres in woodland conservation, 10 of which we're designing as a tree bank for future tree credits for other projects in the future to utilize. So again, staying with the green sustainable theme, this detailed site plan really bears that out and helps carry that vision to align with the master plan goals and general plan goals regarding environmental conservation. The applicant, again, looks forward to bringing back a detailed site plan amendment to show the details such as architecture. This application was sent to the city of Bowie within a mile of the municipality of the city of Bowie. We met with the Bowie Advisory Planning Board and the City Council. Both recommended approval of this application, and their comments are reflected in the staff report. That being said, this case meets all the applicable criteria of approval in the zoning ordinance for a detailed site plan. The applicant does agree with the staff recommendation and its findings and conditions as modified by the applicant's recommended condition revisions in applicant's Exhibit 1. They're very minor. And with that, we would respectfully request the planning board's approval of this application. We do thank you for your consideration of the case, and our team is here to answer any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions?
I have one, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Anthony. I noticed that you have the recreation area. My question to you, it's going to be provided in accordance with the Parks and Recreation Facilities Guidelines. Will there be the recreation that will accommodate physically challenged children?
For the playground area?
Yes.
To your first point, yes, we would design it pursuant to the requirements of the Parks and Recreation Guidelines. To the extent of the accessible nature of it, I'm not 100% sure on that, so I don't want to misstate anything, but it would be to the guidelines. And to the extent those guidelines require accessibility, this certainly would be.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you.
Well, let's make sure that we have that information the next time you come back. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually have one question. Your noise kind of was heavily on the perimeter walls up to 16 feet tall, correct?
Correct.
Can you explain how long-term maintenance, what's your maintenance plan? Is that responsibility of the HOAs and enforcement of the HOA? And if it fails, what's your plan for maintenance? If that noise wall, is that the responsibility of the HOAs?
So it would be the responsibility of the HOA. It would be it would be on HOA parcels, the wall, the noise barrier, and it varies from 6 feet to 16 feet. The higher you get, it's closer you are to 50, where the property abuts. So that would be the obligation of the HOA to maintain that long term. But it will be built with quality, weather-resistant materials, and should have a very long lifespan. So hopefully, maintenance would be something that wouldn't be required for some time, but if there is maintenance required, it will be done at the responsibility of the HOA.
HOA have no choice but to deal with it.
Right. It's amenity for the benefit of the HOA or the residents within the community to meet the noise level requirements mandated by the current zoning ordinance. Sorry, 1 second, please. Going back to the prior question, there are elements within the playground area that are accessible for wheelchair.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your indulgence.
Well, I didn't have any question. I just had one comment. It was based off of what you said about the builder and the aesthetics of the site itself. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard. One of the things that I have been trying to articulate is the importance of creating Prince George's County as a destination for the nation. And how do we do that? Simply, as I look at it, it is how do we separate each municipality for what it is and what it is? creating the rich history and culture of Prince George's County. So I am very in tune and want to see who the builder is and what is the layout of this new freeway airport site. So I am excited that we're moving forward finally, but I am equally excited to see the renderings of what this property is going to look like. So I am hopeful that it elevates what we're trying to accomplish here in Prince George's County and work with you guys to make sure that it is aesthetically pleasing, but most importantly, elevates what we're trying to get accomplished.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate those comments. Mr. Rowd and I would both attest, we've been working on this project for close to 6 years, and we knew the owner of the airport, and we made a promise to him. He's no longer with us, but that we would have a project that would make his family's legacy something that everybody could be proud of. And, you know, the quality of the housing is something that I look forward to bringing back to you in a future application. I share your enthusiasm, and should this application be approved, you know, look forward to bringing back that amendment to you for your consideration.
Sure. I don't see anyone in opposition on this, which is great. Is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the findings of staff and approve detailed site plan DET 2024-016, Type 2 Tree Conservation Plan TCP 2-2025-00770, subject to the conditions laid out in the technical staff report and as amended by applicant's exhibit number 1.
It's been properly moved and second. I will now call the roll. Vice Chair Giraldo,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Okoye,
And I vote aye.
and I vote aye as well. This concludes all items for today. I want to thank the staff and others for coming out today. It is now 10:22, and the meeting is now adjourned.